I think the most shocking thing I learned about the computers was, it's not that I didn't know, because I love history and I've studied history, but I think the most shocking thing was how underappreciated and unrecognized, just because of their sex, their contributions were. I mean, it's not until all these dozens of years later that these women are beginning to get their due. I say in my director's note that, I mean, if you ask most people to name a famous scientist, they'll probably go through a dozen, 24 names before a woman is mentioned, which is really unfortunate. And it's not because they haven't been involved. Women have made significant contributions. So there's a gender bias there, and I think Silent Sky does a little bit to at least start the conversation about addressing that, which I think is great. I think the biggest surprise about BCTC is that the other college theater programs that I've worked in have been very top-down as far as who's in control, and BCTC is a really interesting organization in that it's not completely solely responsible, but the students take more responsibility than in producing the shows than really any other college program I've ever been around, which I think is very cool. The amount of sort of ownership that the students have in the productions is very different from other places I've been, because they really seem to care, and they take it upon themselves to make the show happen rather than waiting for some teacher to tell them what to do. I think just an understanding of what Henrietta actually did, and I still am not smart enough to get my brain completely wrapped around it, but what the Cephids were and how she was able to make that connection between the brightness using the incredibly primitive, by today's standards, tools that they were using. It's pretty remarkable, just using their brains. Talking to Todd Timberlake, Dr. Timberlake, was really interesting, and going out, that was a lot of fun, going out to the observatory here on Berry campus. But one of the most impressive things that I experienced when I was out there is that Dr. Todd Timberlake has mad laser pointer skills. I never would have thought that a laser pointer could be used that effectively to point out stars. I spent most of my time going, that's so cool. He's just pointing at the star, and it really looked like he was going straight towards the star. Anyway. Hey everybody watching this, you have to come see Silent Sky. You're going to be really impressed by the students' work, the student designers' work, and the student actors' work, and you're also going to learn an awful lot about somebody you should know about. See Silent Sky.